Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. We cannot crown Pan Zhanle the swimmer of the Paris 2024 Olympics. Not because his performances weren't outstanding, but because one other swimmer was indeed superior. Today we're going to break down the top 5 men's performances of the Paris Olympics and the top 5 men's swimmers. And if you want to see me do the same video, but on the women's side, then make sure you subscribe because that's a video I'm going to bring you tomorrow. Today though, it's the men's side. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and let me know in the comments who your swimmer of the meet was. Because I care. I want to know. Your men's swimmer of the meet, let me know in the comments. And before we get into the video, if you, like myself right now, are super motivated to swim, then check out my website, www.TheSwimsuitGuy.co.uk, because I'm doing the biggest sale I've ever done. The post-Olympic sale. Every single product on my website, the prices are slashed. 75% off the off-season speed skills, 60% off of raw speed, £46.40 on the 100 race pace training. Everything. I mean, you can get a warm-up guide for just £4 right now. That's 60% off. My caps are on sale. So head over to my website. Not only are you supporting me, but you're going to get a brilliant product that's going to help you swim faster. And this sale is running all week. Once the sale is over, the prices are going right back up and you will have missed out. Without further ado, let's start with the top 5 swimmers of the meet. And I've got a couple of honourable mentions. I'm looking at individual performances. I'm not really including relay performances today because I think that's a completely different thing. But the one swimmer I will give an honourable mention for, because he did still leave the Paris Games with 2 golds and a silver, is Caeleb Dressel. Now has 9 Olympic golds and 1 Olympic silver. He did not get any individual silverware this meet, but he did do a great job on both the mixed medley relay, the men's medley relay, and the men's freestyle relay. 2 golds, 1 silver, a brilliant 49-4 split in the final of the men's medley relay. Did indeed end up getting a silver because Pan swam past the Americans. My last 2 honourable mentions will go to Gregorio Paltrinieri of Italy, getting both a silver in the men's 1500 and a bronze in the men's 800. This guy has been winning medals for years and years and years. One of the best ever distance freestylers to do it. And to come away in super stacked competition with 2 more medals is completely brilliant. Doubling them 2 long distance events is grueling events. So big shout out to Gregorio. And lastly, Ilya Kroon. He got a bronze in the men's 100 and 200 butterfly in times that have won previous meets. I mean, he's got bronze in the 200 fly in 1:52.8. It just so happened he went up against the best in history and the second best in history. Comes away with bronze. No light achievement. Very mean feat. And again, getting the bronze in the 100 fly. And again, one of the fastest times to ever probably get a bronze, like 50.4. It's a real fast time. So Ilya Kroon, very much getting an honourable mention. But let's move into the top 5. And in 5th place would be David Popovic. David is one of the most talked about swimmers. Has been for now 3 or 4 years since he broke that world record at 17 in the 100 free, going 46.8. David Popovic is the guy we talk about. But until this week, he'd never won an Olympic title. In fact, I think he's only won 2 world titles at this point and definitely hadn't won an Olympic title. He came 4th last time around in the 200 freestyle in 1:44.6 behind the 2 Brits and Fernando Scheffer of Brazil. Now the limelight was on him. Could he finally live up to his expectations and win a gold medal? And he answered with a small margin of victory in the men's 2 freestyle. He actually swam slower than he did in Tokyo as like a 16-year-old. He went 1:44.7 to beat Matt Richards by 2/100ths of a second, but it doesn't matter because history will say he was the champion. History will say he got the gold medal put around his neck and he will have that awesome Louis Vuitton case with a gold medal for the rest of his life. He then backed it up with a bronze in the 100 freestyle. A brilliant swim and again, 5th on my list. Everyone on my list is a multiple individual medalist. So that's why we won't see Pan Zhanle on this list. Don't criticise me in the comments. We're going to talk about Pan later. But 4th place was Dan Whiffen. Dan Whiffen, again, another swimmer with a lot of expectation and someone who talks a lot of talk. He tells everyone he's going to win. He tells everyone he's going to set the world record. And he dominated that men's 800 freestyle. Dan, you're an Olympic champion. He couldn't quite do the double in the 15, which is why I gave Gregorio an honourable mention. It's a big double to do. He come out, he got smoked by Bobby Finke from the get-go. Bobby had a brilliant swim, and Dan, bronze and a gold in the men's distance events. He is 4th place on my list. And staying on the theme of men's distance freestyler, they've got 3 on my list. Bobby Finke, 3rd place. Gold in the 1500 of a world record and a silver in the 800. Again, just a grueling double. And then after that silver in the 800, to back it up, win the first US men title. Like, he was the only US man to win an individual title this whole meet. To do it on the last day in a world record fashion. Bobby Finke, what a swim. And to back up from 2 golds at the last Olympics. He's done the 2-peat in the 15. There he is. And then we move on to 2nd. And for me, it was Kristof Milak. Kristof Milak, I really like these comeback stories where they get a title after a small sort of defeat. And of course, in the 200 fly, Leon Marchand come past him with probably 35 metres to go in one of the races of the whole meet, to be completely honest with you. And he then comes back. So he doesn't defend his 200 fly title where he's world record holder. And then he wins at the 100 fly, an event he's never won in 49.90, swimming over the top of Josh Liendo to get his hands to the walls first. 2 medals, a gold and a silver. And now he's an Olympic champion in both the 100 and 200 fly across 2 Olympic Games. Only 24 years old, we forget about this. Kristof Milak is one of the biggest talents the sport has ever seen. I really hope we see him. I think he has heights to reach still in this sport. I think he can go sub 150. I think he can go close to Dressel's 100 fly world record. I think he can be a threat in the 100 freestyle, the 200 freestyle, the 50 freestyle. He goes 21. This guy can do it all. 2nd in my swimmer of the meet. And of course, we knew where this was going. The swimmer of the meet, Leon Marchand of France, home Olympics. He knocked it out of the park, didn't he? I mean, like, I asked you who you think was the swimmer of the meet in the comments. And give me someone who isn't Leon if you want, because I think everyone in the world thinks it was Leon. How can you not think it was Leon? Leon, 4 gold medals. Individual. And a silver for a relay. So let's not forget the relay silver he got. Relay bronze, right? He got the medley relay bronze. Yeah, medley relay bronze. So 4 golds and a bronze. 5 medals. Just fantastic. Just absolutely phenomenal. Brilliant swimmer. He done every one of them swims with an Olympic record. The 4am was the 2nd fastest of all time. The 200 performance. The 200 fly made him the 2nd fastest performer of all time. The 200 breast made him the 2nd fastest performer and performance of all time. And the 200 iron was the 2nd fastest performance and performer of all time. So close. Like, we could almost be speaking about 4 world records here if he was like this much faster in each thing. I think the 200 fly was the only one he really missed the world record by a country mile. But the 4am, the 2am, the 2am he missed the world record by 0.06. 200 breast was like 0.2. I mean, just fantastic. And to do 2 of them on one night. Pan's 100 freestyle kind of overshadowed that a little bit. So let's give the props that Leon deserves. To go 200 fly, some people's hardest event in the pool, and then to come back and win the 200 breaststroke against the defending Olympic champion, not the world record holder because he was knocked out earlier. Just absolutely, wow. Mind-blowing performances. And talking of performances, let's go through my top 5. And at 5th place, I want to give it to Caeleb McAvoy in the men's 50 freestyle. Not only did he win against one of the toughest 50 freestyle fields of all time, I mean, 8th place was only like 0.35 off the win. Like, that's how it was, the fastest 8th place in a 50 freestyle ever. It had Ben Proud in there, it had Caeleb Dressel in there, it had Florent Manodou, who's done the 4 in a row, which is an honourable mention. Florent Manodou gets my honourable mention for anchoring the medley relay and for going 4 50 freestyle medals in a row at the Olympics. That's insane. So Caeleb McAvoy to beat that field in a 21-2, but also to do it 8 years after he suffered maybe what people call one of the biggest upsets or disappointments or whatever. And you know, I'm not calling out Cam here. The Olympics is ridiculous. I feel the pressure just watching these races. I don't know what it's like behind the blocks. And I feel like the fact that Cam went in 2016 with all this pressure and didn't perform. Probably added to the pressure he felt to perform as the favourite once again. He was a favourite in 2016 and didn't medal, and then he was the favourite in 2024 and he wins, and it was beautiful, and I'm so happy for him, and I'm so happy for Ben and Flo as well. They're all great guys. It was a great performance, and that's my 5th performance of this. Then both 3rd and 4th are Leon Marchand performances, and I think all of his performances could have been on this list. They were all Olympic records, but for me it was the 2 fly, because he went quicker than Caeleb Dressel, and it was in a brilliant, he went quicker than Michael Phelps, and it was in a brilliant race. He went 151 low, and he'd done it swimming over the top of the world record holder. In terms of just excitement and probably the noise the crowd were making, it was maybe the one of the races of the whole games. Maybe it was the race of the whole games. It's 4th on my list in terms of performance, but in terms of just spectacles, wow. Kristof had this massive lead, and then there he comes, Leon. And also, from a performance aspect, I would say the 400 IM, no one else has been 402 in history. He's done it twice now. He was just off his world record. He won by 6 seconds. How can you not say that was one of the performances of the games? But I guess we could say he's 200 IM, considering it was only 0.07 off going 153 for the first time in history and breaking the world record. But I've spoken about Leon enough. He's been phenomenal. And you could say he's 200 breaststroke because it was the second 200 of the night, which he won in the second fastest time ever. Leon was great. Second, Bobby Finke. We're talking about Bobby Finke again. To break that Sun Yang world record at last, everyone was relieved to see it go, and we know how hard it is. So many people went under world record pace with 100 to go, and then Sun Yang's last 100 of a 53 point comes past, 25 on the last 50, just swims past. Bobby had enough of a lead with 100 to go, and then closed fast up himself. I think he was 55 with a 26 low last 50 to stay ahead of that world record line, be the first man under 14:31 to do it on the last day with all this pressure of the US on him. What a swim. He was negative split for 750s, and his last 500 was the quickest 500 of the whole race, because a lot of 1500 swimmers will race in segments of 500s. That's how they'll tactically play it. And here we are with my final thought of this video, the performance of the Olympic Games. Pan Zhanle, 100-meter freestyle, 46.4. That's a time I just can't get my head around. Like, every time I think about it, I'm like, what is happening? We have a man go 46.4 now. And like, I don't know where we go from here, because if he keeps PBing, we could be talking in the next few years about a 46 low, a 46 flat, even a 4500 freestyle. He done that in the relay. He went 45.9. That's a mark we've talked about for ages, because obviously the legendary Lazak 46.06. And now, not only have we had seen 45 in a relay, but we could maybe one day see it in an individual. The whole race has been brought forward. It took us so many years to get men going under 47 with Popovich and Dressel, and now Pan has moved it on. We're not just flirting with that old 46 mark from Caesar's Yellow. We're well inside it, half second inside it. Pan is the man to do just that. And actually, if we look at his individual, he was 22.2, 24.1 for 46.40. In the relay, he had a 0.2 reaction. It was 21.5, so let's call it a 0.6 reaction. He'd be 21.9. He'd come back in 24.3. I worked it out. If you give him the same reaction time, he'd be 46.34. So it's a very similar swim that last day relay. But, I mean, this is a guy that can truthfully be out in 21 nowadays and still come back in 24 low. I don't think anyone could disagree with me that it was the swim of the meet, the performance of the meet, and he's only just turned 20 on the last day of the meet. I hope he keeps getting better, and I hope Popovich starts to bring his performances on, and I hope we get tussles between Popovich, Pan, and whoever else decides to join them. I still think Jack Alexi has more to give in that event after his 47.0 in the prelims at trials. So yeah, super exciting times to be a swim fan. I loved watching this meet, and that's my sort of recap of the best performances and swimmers on the men's side of the Paris Olympics. As I said, subscribe, because tomorrow I'm going to bring you the same thing, but on the women's side, and there's a lot to talk about there. Some brilliant swimmers and performances, without doubt. Although we did get no individual world records. We did get that women's relay world record on the last day. No individual world records, but we got close on a few occasions. So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe and check out the biggest sale I've ever done on my website right now, www.TheSwimsuitGuy.co.uk. Without further ado, let's end this video. I'll see you on the next one.